we've become much better at managing cancer in general. If we take cancer as an all-comer, so we're including all cancers, about 40 years ago it was 1/3 of people had survived for 5 years, and now it's 2/3. So we've made some dramatic improvements in mostly very specific tumour types. That's not only because we've become better at treating cancer with better drugs, it's also because we've become better at diagnosing cancer. So now we see it earlier, and then the therapies and the interventions and surgery, sometimes surgery alone, can now manage cancer because it's in a much earlier stage. Cancer research has many aspects, and in fact it's the breadth of research angles that really give us the advances. We can make incremental advances in bits we already know a bit about, but it's things that come out of left field. Dramatic results come from some very strange projects that don't immediately look like they would address some really key issue in cancer and cancer research. So we need to be able to foster these sort of blue sky, random kind of ideas that have scientific merit, but we don't quite know how important they're going to be. At the same time, we have to put resources to projects that are really extending the knowledge that we've already built, and we can see that there's going to be benefit. But I think to make sure that we do have what we would call paradigm shifts in how we think about cancer and how we might manage cancer, it's really important that we do look at the spectrum of research and make sure we're not neglecting some areas to fund the stuff that looks more straightforward.
Okay, good early start this morning, probably another 40 minutes in front of normal starting time at 7:53, and the weather was fairly brisk this morning, and yes, the temperature is still only showing 13 degrees, but I expect a top of around 32 or even more as we head north of it.
Go. Typical four-wheel drive, we've got to get them out of the shed again. You've never seen a postie bite had to be dug out, have you? You've never seen one.
Hard work on the accelerator, really twisting that throttle to get up the sand dunes. Thank God they're behind us. Well 51. This was the last well sunk by Canning. Basically, he was away getting supplies. The men were exhausted, they were starving, the heat was intense, as were the flies. The biggest disappointment, once they raised the water from the well, they discovered the poor quality. We're not far away from Billyuna. We've just run into Stephen and he's cruising around Western Australia on camels. Mate, where did you start?
Started in Perth about 5.5 months ago. Cruised up the west coast, checked out the Mitchell Plateau and up around there, and now I'm on my way back down to the centre and back to Perth again.
And people thought we were nuts doing it on postie bikes, and there's this bloke out here with a couple of camels, living off the land, doing it the way blokes did it years ago. Mate, can I have a go at one of your camels?
Yeah, sure thing.
Oh, awesome.
I normally I'll walk in the mornings and the afternoons when it's cool, and through the centre of the day I jump on and ride.
How many k's you get a day?
35 to 40 k's is average.
And how many litres to a tank? Hey, never thought I'd actually ride a camel on the Canning stock route. Actually, never thought I'd ride a camel full stop. What's his name?
Was him.
Was him. He's a cricketer. I'm not real good in the postie bike. I don't think I'm going to be any better on a camel.
First action, you lean back.
Yep.
And you'll sit up straight.
Right.
Yeah,
Good work, Wazzy.
Over there is a lake.
Hey, I'm not going to need my helmet up here, am I, mate?
Depends, guys. Good luck. You guys have a good day.
Just hold up, fellas. The bike's going through the water. We've got a problem with one of them starving. Bernie's is starving.
When it comes to water, always best to walk through it to see how deep it is. These boys might have just thrown a whole heap of water straight into the engine through not checking things out properly.
The bikes are mobile. We've got the bikes going after the water crossing, so we're all mobile.
Hey dudes, we made it to the end of the Canning stock route. There is 1,400 kilometres more to go, but what we think is we've just done the hard yards. Let's hope it gets a bit easier from here. Whoa! This is Wolf Creek meteorite crater. Some 300,000 years ago, a meteorite hurtled into the earth right there, forming this crater. We are on the rim of it, and as you can tell, it's quite windy. This crater wasn't discovered by Europeans until 1947. However, the local people, the Jaru, indigenous to this area, have known about its existence for thousands of years. They believe in the Aboriginal Dreamtime story that Gundamalal, Wolf Creek meteorite crater, is where the rainbow serpents came out of the ground and then slithered off, forming both Wolf Creek and Sturt Creek. The meteorite that created this crater weighed about 50,000 tonnes, or as much as a battleship. It's 850 metres from one side to the other and is the second largest crater in the world. The biggest crater in the world, formed by a meteorite, is in fact in Arizona in the US. Bloomy fork seal here, spewing oil all over the bike. I've even got some on my pants. Basically, we'll just keep pushing along.
Bend the end round, mate.
50 k's to go to Wolf Creek. It's 10 past 6. The dark's come in really quick, and we're just driving beside the bikes here with high beams on, so they've got some lights.
He's right on the edge. We're burning it over, you see, then all of a sudden it's just off nearly. I don't know whether he hit him, but it must have been close.
Literally on the corner, just here, like 100 metres away.
You're right when we turned in front of that road, right?